Statistics, data. Yawn, yawn, you might be thinking. But wait, this phase of math can marry the math side with your more creative side, because statistics and data are the raw materials for graphs and charts. In this case, we've got a tally chart showing how many board games, blocks, books, and puzzles this person owns. But we don't have to show it as tally marks. How about colorful dots with 1, 2, 3, 4 corresponding to our tally marks? But this is a much more visual way to say it. And when we get to our half circle, that's a lot more interesting to look at than a half of a line. Each of those circles would have a value to it. Let's say they were 10. Board games, 10, 20, 30, 40. In this case, where we have half, let's look at our puzzles. We have 10, 20, 30, and then just half of it. So this would be 35. But the picture gives the value, and it's more fun to look at those, wouldn't you think? There are a lot of different charts and graphs that you can be very creative when you collect your data. Your data might be able to be organized as a circle graph, where I've just named the people here for the votes for the class leader. We don't even know how many votes Tracy and Mitch got, but we know that on the whole, they got fewer. It's obvious that Sarah won the class leader vote. The circle graphs can get much more complicated, where percentages are used and then translated into the correct angle measure of the 360 degrees in the circle. But that is a simplistic look at a circle graph and a more complex. We'll come back to those later. Data can also be shown as a bar graph. And if we're tracking two things at once, we can have a double bar graph. In this pictograph, we have information about shirts worn on Tuesday with the corresponding colors. That's kind of fun. This kind of a graph is called a scattergram. The various points are just put onto the graph mathematically, and then we try to find a line on it. A histogram is very much like the bar graph, except there are no spaces between the bars. And a line graph shows either one or more lines depending on what data we're tracking. This is an example of a line graph. As you can see, there's many ways for you to be creative with the statistics, the data that you've collected.